Welcome to this tutorial video. The goal of this video is to look at the general section within the eRA matching options. The eRA matching options general section provides the practice with various options that can be selected to allow the system to post eRA journals in a manner that best suits the practice's needs. In this video, we will start on the system option EDI connection screen. For more information on how to navigate to the System Options EDI connection screen, please refer to the EDI user manual linked in this video's description. On the System Option EDI connection screen, click on the eRA Matching Options General tab to set up eRA journals. The options available in the eRA Matching Options General page will now be explained. eRA Journals allows the user to set up the system to do different types of journals automatically when an eRA is posted. The following eRA journals setup options are available. We will now go over the short payment setup section. Short payments are when accounts have only been partially paid and there is still an amount outstanding that needs to be paid. Each option will now be explained in detail. Do nothing allows the user to give the system the indication to do nothing with a short payment on an eRA. The user will have to manually complete a short payment journal. The shift to patient is for any code that was submitted to the medical aid and was short paid or not paid at all. The patient will then be held accountable for paying the bill. Write-off set disk means the system will do a journal to write off the outstanding amount with a write-off settlement discount journal. Please note that when the write-off set disk option has been selected, the user will need to select an eRA journal type and the max journal amount. eRA journal type is the journal type that the user would like to use for write-offs and settlement discounts. Please note that if an eRA journal type is selected, the user will need to set up the max journal amount. Now, select the desired option by clicking on the relevant radio button. Discount is a markdown deduction that is given on the original amount that was initially charged. For example, the user has been charged a certain amount and the practice has a policy that if the account is settled within a specific time frame, the debtor will qualify for a discount. Write-off is when the write-off journal type is ticked, the system will write off the amount that was short paid by the medical aid on the eRA. Max journal amount is the maximum amount for which a journal will be done automatically. The system will never discount write off any amounts above the specified amount. Click on the max journal amount field to enter the desired amount, which is a numeric field. Cutoff rule default allows the practice to specify an amount for which, if the medical aid underpays the account and the outstanding amount is less than the selected amount, the system will perform an automatic journal to write off the underpayment. If the amount is greater than the chosen amount, the outstanding balance will be transferred to patient liability. Please note that if the cutoff rule default was selected, the user will need to set up the cutoff amount. Cutoff amount that the system will look at the selected amount before performing the eRA journal. The practice needs to decide what the amount will be. Click on the cutoff amount field to enter the desired amount that will be used for the cutoff rule default. Cutoff rule, also PAT AMT, provides the user with the option to shift the short paid medical aid invoice amount to the patient amount. If the total amount is less than the cutoff amount, an automatic write-off journal will be done on these accounts when the eRA is posted. Please note that if the cutoff rule, also PAT AMT, was selected, the user will need to set up the cutoff amount. Cutoff amount is when the system will look at the selected amount before performing the eRA journal. Please note that the practice needs to decide what the amount will be. Click on the cutoff amount field to enter the desired amount that will be used for the cutoff rule, also PAT AMT. We will now take a look at unresolved payments where. When the correct amount claimed is not on the eRA, but an overpayment or short payment is, the unresolved function will mark the payments as unresolved. The checkboxes that follow will now be explained. Overpayments occur is when the medical aid has paid more than the claimed amount. The payment will be left unresolved in the eRA manager. The user can then investigate why medical aid overpaid the account and manually resolve the problem. Short payments occur is when the medical aid has paid less than what was claimed. The payment will be left unresolved in the eRA manager. The user can then investigate why the medical aid short paid the account and manually resolve the problem. We will now go over resolved payments where. When the paid amount and unmatched amount equals 0, the resolve function marks the payment as resolved. There are no discrepancies on the eRA, allowing for full matching. Paid amount and unmatched amount equals 0 will mark the payment as resolved when the paid amount and unmatched amount equal to 0. For example, the paid amount 300 Rand and the unmatched amount 300 Rand equals 0. Tick the checkbox to select the option. We will now look at advanced matching options. Advanced matching will be used when the system couldn't match the payment on the eRA to the debtor account. If the medical aid didn't use the correct reference, etc., the system will use the advanced matching option to try and get the payment matched to the correct debtor account. Try to auto-link partial matched payments means if both of the below is true, the system will apply the item matching from the invoice line items. Checks if there is only one distinct invoice number on the matched items of the payment. Checks if the total amount of the payment matches the total medical outstanding of the invoice. Tick the checkbox to select the option. Next, we will discuss codes to be moved. Codes to be moved allows the user to set up specific billing codes that will be moved by default when an eRA is done. To add a code, click on the plus button to add a default billing code that will be moved. The code screen will open. Click on the text field to enter the desired code. Click on the cancel button to close the code screen and return to the eRA matching options general tab without adding a new code. Click on the OK button to save and add the new code to the codes to be moved list. The code screen will close automatically. The code that has been added will appear on the list. To delete a code, select the desired code on the list that the user would like to remove from the codes to be moved list. Click on the minus button. A confirm pop-up will appear to ask the user if they are sure that they would like to delete the code. Click on the no button to ignore the request and close the pop-up. The code will not be deleted from the list. Click on the yes button to continue to remove the desired code from the list. Click on the print options button to print the setup for all system options tabs. Click on the save button to save the changes that have been made. The confirmation changes screen will open. Please note that the save button will only appear if changes have been made to the settings. Click on the please specify a reason for the changes made text box to give a reason as to why the changes have been made. Click on the cancel button to go back to the EDI screen, no changes will be saved. Click on the OK button to save the changes made. Click on the exit button to close the system options EDI connection screen and return to the system options main screen.